Hey everyone, what's up? I'm here to talk about G1 Climax Night 2. This show took place in Aomori, which is if you think of Japan the way I do, it kind of looks like a seahorse. And the head of Japan is the island of Hokkaido, and the body is the island of Honshu. And Aomori is the northernmost prefecture, and that's where the show took place. Aomori is a city of only about 300,000 people, which I live in Fresno, California, which is a city most people would never even think about. Very forgettable city in America, but we have over 500,000 people here, so this is a pretty small city. And the crowd was really hot for almost the entire night. They were really appreciative of the action. I'm thinking because maybe they don't get a lot of shows like this. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of a lot of shows happening there. Supposedly in the past, a lot of people used to visit to take the ferry over to Hokkaido, but now there's actually an underground, undersea railway that goes from Honshu to the island of Hokkaido, so a lot of people don't visit Aomori anymore. Anyways, that's enough of the history lesson. I got the match listings here for tonight. The show on paper was looking like it'd be one of the more forgettable nights of the G1, and overall nothing too eventful happened, but there was two things that this show had going for it. Number one, the crowd was really hot and into the action, like I was saying before, which helped a lot. And number two, most of the wrestlers of interest, like most of the wrestlers that I like, were really spread out throughout the show. So just about every single match had someone I was interested in it, which helped a lot, because there weren't a ton of matches with two dudes you don't care about stinking up the joint. You know, almost every match had someone of interest in it, and I'll talk about that more as we go along. So the first match was Tomohiro Ishii versus Satoshi Kojima, and this was really good. Ishii opens up another show in the G1, and he's a good choice to have open up the show. He gets the crowd really hot. The crowd was a bit more behind Kojima in this match, it seemed like. And Kojima, the way he comes off, like his personality and his facial expressions, I don't like him. Like, he's a good wrestler. I like watching his matches. When I say I don't like him, what I mean is I really like rooting against him. And Ishii actually won this match with a brainbuster, so I was really happy to see that. Ishii's selling in this match was really great, and Kojima did a good job of coming off like a very confident and cocky sort of, I don't know if you'd call it a heel, but veteran. And he sold for Ishii very well too. Ishii won this match with a brainbuster. And it seems like just about anyone in New Japan could win a match with a lariat or a brainbuster, and I really love that. Like, I know lariat and brainbuster is like a actual finisher for Ishii and Kojima, but I think it's really cool that there's these community finishers. Like, I wish WWE had community finishers, like maybe, I don't know. It would just be cool if there was a move that anyone could do for a believable near fall. And the next match was Shelton X Benjamin versus Bad Luck Fale. Oh, what I was going to say before, Ishii is now 1-1, and so is Kojima. The Shelton Benjamin Bad Luck Fale match is actually a lot better than I expected, and a lot of that is probably because it was only like 3 minutes long, but the crowd was actually really hot for this match, and these two really beat the hell out of each other. Just very stiff, like a lot more stiff and dangerous looking than you would expect from these two. And Shelton Benjamin actually got the win with the pay dirt, which if you don't know, it's the move where he just sort of jumps in the air, grabs the guy, and falls backwards, sort of a flatliner. Which, I don't know, it doesn't really seem to fit in with all the like really brutal finishers people have in New Japan. But anyways, he got the win. Now Benjamin's 2-0, Bad Luck Fale is 1-1. Next up was Hirooki Goto versus Yujiro Takahashi. This was very good. Takahashi was really playing up the heelishness, lots of licking his lips, and he bit Goto's hand. He raked his eyes a bunch of times, did lots of heelish stuff, and I kind of like his sleazy heel character. Sort of reminds me of Edge in his later years around 2007, 8 in on SmackDown. Just very sleazy, despicable type of character. And Goto, I think, is a very good foil for that because he seems like a very stoic, classic sort of Japanese hero. And it was very satisfying to see him beat the crap out of Yujiro, and he finished him off with a very brutal Shoten. So now Goto is 2-0 and Yujiro is 1-1. Then next up we had Tetsuya Naito versus Lance Archer. And this was a very good match. I think this was my second favorite match of the night. Naito is just so smooth and slick in the ring with his athleticism. He's one of my favorite guys to watch on the roster. And Lance Archer, you know, as of late in New Japan, they have a lot of these big foreign heels, and I'm not sure why, but a lot of them, like Davey Boy, Smith Jr., Lance Archer, Bad Luck Fale, and Doc Gallows, they have this very over-exaggerated and cheesy sort of way of being the foreign heel. I don't know, for some reason it just kind of comes off phony, and just very over-exaggerated and cheesy, which is strange because a guy like Yuji Nagata, you know, he's very over-the-top, but it seems more genuine. Like, I can get behind the way he sells and his facial expressions, but these Americans, I'm not sure what it is, but maybe it's because they're in Japan and it seems like they're kind of, the way you speak slowly to someone who doesn't speak your language, you know, that kind of patronizing way people do that. I feel like that's kind of what they're doing, if that makes any sense. But Lance Archer, out of this group of monster gaijin heels, I think is the best. And he did a lot of cool stuff in this match. I mean, his offense is really good and it comes off really stiff. He hit a really, really nasty choke slam on Naito in this match where his head just bounced off the mat. He also hit some really hard slams, and this was a lot of fun. I really liked the way these guys' two styles meshed. And Naito got the win with a roll-up, a small package out of a full Nelson Slam. Alright, so now Naito is 1-1 and Lance Archer is 0-1. Alright, then the next match was Tomoaki Hanma versus Yuji Nagata. This was my favorite match of the night. I really liked the pairing of Yuji Nagata and Tomoaki Hanma. Hanma is, he might be my favorite guy in this whole tournament. Maybe my favorite guy in New Japan. What I really like about him is he's not the best athlete and he doesn't have the coolest moveset. He's kind of stiff in the ring, but he just has so much personality. His facial expressions are by far my favorite in the whole company, and his selling, like the look on his face when he's getting beaten up, it's actually sad. Like, there's very few wrestlers that actually make me feel sad when I see them getting beat on, but he pulls it off, and he's just such an interesting character. Like, he's kind of this shorter guy with sort of short arms, but very muscular, and he has this voice, this really gravelly, deep, smoky voice, like, kind of sounds like a snake, like Cobra Commander or something. Just a really unique guy who you just want to pay attention to when you see him. And Yuji Nagata, of course, is a great wrestler. Also a very over-the-top character in his own right, so this was a lot of fun. And Hanma, he hits these headbutts where he sort of just belly flops onto the ground. And in this match, he was getting so fired up, you know, pounding himself in the head, trying to hit these headbutts, and he missed twice. And it looks very funny the way he belly flops when he missed. But when he finally hit the headbutt, he had this giant goofy grin on his face, which I just really loved. And later on he missed one off the top rope as well, but this was just a blast. This match actually had me screaming out loud at one point when Yuji Nagata hit him with a brainbuster, because I totally thought that was going to be the finish. But Hanma kicked out and I was so fired up, and I actually expected Hanma to win off of a brainbuster he hit for some stupid reason. But eventually Yuji Nagata defeated him with the backdrop driver into the pin combination that he does, you know, and this was just a blast. Definitely the best match of the night, and something, I don't know, by the end of the tournament it probably won't be a standout match, but definitely can't go wrong checking this out. If there's anything to check out from this night, I would definitely say it'd be this match. So now Hanma is 0-2 and Yuji Nagata is 1-1. Alright, then we had Shinsuke Nakamura versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. Shinsuke really seemed like a star in this match. The crowd was super into him, super pumped up for his entrance. And everything Shinsuke did in this match was great. And just about everything Davey Boy did in this match was not very fun. Davey Boy, I feel like he has the least personality out of anyone on the entire New Japan roster. And just the way his character comes off is it just seems very forced. He really reminds me of Curtis Axel a lot. Just everything he says and the way he moves and the facial expressions he makes just come off really phony for whatever reason. I don't know why, but it seems like it's just not genuine. Like, it always seems like someone playing a character. He never really gets me to believe. And even being such an enormous, huge guy, he never comes off as dangerous or scary for some reason. Not saying, I'm not advocating people being more dangerous or stiff in the ring, but I don't know, for whatever reason, he just never comes off as a threat. And everything Shinsuke did in this match, though, was really awesome. And like I was saying before, almost every match on this show, I guess besides Shelton Benjamin versus Bad Luck Fale, I had someone I was really interested in it. So Shinsuke Nakamura kept my interest for this match, and for the moments when he was on offense, it was very good and very fun. But when Davey Boy Smith was in control, it was a bit of a drag. Still a good match, though. Then we had the intermission. So Shinsuke Nakamura won with the Bomaye. And now he's 1-1. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is 0-1. Back from intermission, we had AJ Styles versus Toru Yano. This was pretty cool. It was AJ basically getting a squash match to get his heat back after losing to Okada on the previous night of the G1. Toru Yano got in some offense, mostly from exposing the turnbuckle pad, and he hit AJ with a low blow, so any offense Yano got was mostly from cheating. He's kind of like a Eddie Guerrero type character where he cheats all the time, but he's a babyface. And this was basically just a squash match, and AJ won with the Styles Clash. And actually the crowd made no reaction for the Styles Clash, so I feel like a lot of the fans in the crowd didn't know AJ and didn't know his offense because there was no reaction for the Styles Clash, but he won with that. So now AJ is 1-1, Toru Yano is also 1-1. Then we had Hiroyoshi Tenzan versus Kazuchika Okada. Tenzan did look quite a bit more broken down in this match. Watching him run across the ring was a bit kind of sad. His knees seemed pretty jacked up. He did hit a better moonsault in this match. This match was fine, but Tenzan's limitations were definitely seen, and Okada got the win with the Rainmaker. So he went 2-0, and Tenzan's now 1-1. Alright, then we got Carl Anderson versus Togi Makabe. This was a good match, but kind of basic. Nothing you've never seen before, nothing too groundbreaking. Carl Anderson really went after Togi Makabe's jaw, and he was really selling his jaw a lot in this match, which I really like. I hope he keeps selling his jaw throughout the entire tournament. It's really cool when tournaments get these sort of storyline threads going through them like that. One really good near fall was Carl Anderson hit a TKO off the top rope on Makabe, who's a big dude, and that seems like it would take a lot of finesse and strength to pull off. So that was impressive, and that was a good near fall, especially with him working on the jaw a lot. But eventually Makabe got the win with his hanging German suplex off the top rope. It's like where he hooks his legs in the ropes, hits a German suplex, but he doesn't fall off the top rope, and he does a sit-up, and then he hit his King Kong knee drop for the win, which is cool. I haven't seen that sequence of moves in a while. It reminded me of back, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago when he was champion, and he was getting wins with that move sequence all the time. So now Makabe is 1-1, Carl Anderson's 0-2. And on to the main event, we had Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Doc Gallows. This very similar to the Nakamura versus Davey Boy Smith Jr. match. When Doc Gallows was on offense, it was a bit dull, and when Tanahashi was on offense, it was a lot of fun. This was better, though, than the Shinsuke match, because this one, I think, got a bit more time. Maybe? Either way, I think I liked it a little bit more than that match, but not a whole ton. And Doc Gallows was not super impressive in this one, and he also, like I was saying about the other Gaijin, came off a bit cheesy. Not Carl Anderson or AJ Styles, but those other guys. Alright, and Shibata and Suzuki had the night off this night. So, overall, very easy to sit through, fun show. Like I said before, one thing I liked about it was every match had someone I was interested in, but By the end of the tournament, this probably won't be a night many people will be talking about. Best match by far, Tomoaki Hanma versus Yuji Nagata. Second best match, I guess I would say, was, yeah, Ishii versus Kojima. Third, probably Goto versus Takahashi. But Hanma versus Nagata and Ishii versus Kojima are really the two matches that, if you just want to get a quick look at the best matches of the show, check those ones out. Alright, that's enough for me. I'll be back with night 3 before too long. Have a nice night.